Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to our channel. I'm literally sitting here with tissues next to me because what we're about to discuss today is going to hit you right in the feelings. If you've been following BTS for any length of time, you know that the bond between Jimin and Jungkook is something absolutely special. But what Jungkook did recently for Jimin, it's going to restore your faith in true friendship and probably make you ugly cry like it did me. So grab your tissues, maybe call your best friend after this video, and let's dive into a story that proves some friendships are just pure magic. And hey, if this touches your heart the way it touched mine, smash that like button and let me know in the comments which moment got you the most emotional. You know, we've watched Jimin and Jungkook grow up together literally before our eyes, from awkward teenagers to the incredible artists they are today. But their friendship, that's remained constant through every single change, every challenge, every triumph. And what we witnessed recently just proves that some bonds are unbreakable. Let me paint you a picture of their journey first. When BTS debuted, Jungkook was just 15 years old. 15. Can you imagine being thrust into the spotlight at that age? But Jimin, who was only 2 years older, immediately took Jungkook under his wing. Not because he had to, but because that's just who Jimin is. He saw this young boy who was talented beyond belief, but also scared and homesick, and he decided to be his safe space. I remember watching old footage where Jungkook would automatically gravitate toward Jimin during interviews. Not the leader, not the oldest member, but Jimin, because Jimin made him feel secure. Jimin would always make sure Jungkook had eaten, that he was comfortable, that he felt included. It was like watching a Hyung genuinely care for his younger brother, and honestly, it was beautiful to witness. But here's what makes their friendship even more special. It evolved. As Jungkook grew older and more confident, their dynamic shifted from protective older brother and shy younger brother to genuine equals who just deeply, deeply care about each other. They became each other's biggest cheerleaders, harshest critics when needed, and constant sources of comfort. Fast forward to recent times, and we all know how challenging things have been. The pressures of fame, personal struggles, the uncertainty of the future, and of course, the looming reality of military service that all Korean men face. It's a lot for anyone to handle, but imagine handling it under the scrutiny of millions of eyes worldwide. Now, here's where the tissue warning really kicks in. During one of Jimin's most vulnerable moments recently, when he was clearly struggling with self-doubt about his music, his performance, his worth as an artist, Jungkook did something that literally made my heart stop. Instead of just offering words of comfort, which honestly, Jimin probably hears all the time from everyone around him, Jungkook did something different. Something that showed he truly understands Jimin's heart. Jungkook spent weeks, and I mean weeks, secretly working on something special for Jimin. He reached out to their old choreographer, the one who worked with them on some of Jimin's favorite dance pieces from their early days. Together, they recreated one of Jimin's most cherished choreographies, but Jungkook learned Jimin's parts. All of them. Every intricate movement, every emotional expression, every tiny detail that makes Jimin's dancing so uniquely beautiful. But wait, it gets more emotional. Jungkook didn't just learn the choreography. He studied hours of footage of Jimin performing it, not to copy him, but to understand what that dance meant to Jimin. He wanted to capture not just the movements, but the emotion, the story that Jimin tells through his body when he dances. The day he surprised Jimin with this gift, I'm told there wasn't a dry eye in room. Picture this: Jimin, exhausted from practice, feeling defeated and questioning himself, walks into what he thinks is just another regular practice session. But instead, he finds Jungkook standing in the center of the room and their old choreographer sitting in the corner with the biggest smile on his face. Without saying a word, Jungkook starts moving, and as the music fills the room, Jimin realizes what's happening. Jungkook is dancing his story back to him. Every movement that Jimin created, every emotional beat that Jimin poured his heart into, Jungkook learned it all. Not to show off, not to prove he could do it too, but to remind Jimin of his own brilliance. Can you imagine watching someone you care about struggle with self-doubt, and your response is to learn their art form so thoroughly that you can reflect their own genius back to them? That's not just friendship, that's pure love in action. But here's the part that absolutely destroyed me emotionally. Halfway through the performance, Jungkook starts crying. Not because he's struggling with the choreography, but because he finally understands in his body and his heart what Jimin puts into every single performance. He feels the vulnerability, the strength, the raw emotion that Jimin channels into his dancing. And in that moment, he's not just performing Jimin's choreography, he's experiencing Jimin's artistic soul. Jimin, watching this unfold, goes through every emotion possible. Shock, because he can't believe Jungkook did this. Gratitude, because someone took the time to truly see his art. But mostly, he's overwhelmed by the realization that Jungkook didn't just learn his dance, Jungkook learned him. His artistic language, his emotional expression, his creative heart. When Jungkook finishes, both of them are crying. But so is everyone else in the room. Because what they just witnessed wasn't a performance, it was a declaration of love. Not romantic love, but something maybe even more rare. The kind of love that says, I see you, I understand you, and I celebrate who you are. Jimin couldn't even speak at first. He just walked over to Jungkook and hugged him. And they stayed like that for the longest time. When he finally found his voice, all he could say was, thank you for seeing me. And honestly, writing those words right now is making me emotional all over again. But the story doesn't end there. This gesture didn't just lift Jimin's spirits in that moment, it transformed something fundamental in how he sees himself as an artist. Jungkook's willingness to step into his artistic world so completely reminded Jimin of his own worth in a way that no amount of external validation ever could. Since then, we've seen a renewed confidence in Jimin's performances. Not because he needed Jungkook's approval, but because sometimes we need someone we trust to mirror our own light back to us when we can't see it ourselves. Jungkook became Jimin's mirror, showing him his own brilliance when he had forgotten how to see it. What makes this even more beautiful is that it's so perfectly them. Jungkook, who's often better at expressing himself through actions rather than words, found the most profound way to communicate his love and respect for his young. And Jimin, who gives so much of himself to everyone around him, got to receive a gift that was purely about celebrating who he is. This is why their friendship touches so many hearts around the world. It's not just cute moments and inside jokes, though those are wonderful too. It's the depth of genuine care they have for each other. It's the way they show up for each other, not just in the good times, but especially when the other person needs it most. In a world where relationships can often feel superficial or conditional, watching Jimin and Jungkook's friendship reminds us what it looks like when two people genuinely want the best for each other. When they're willing to put in the work, the time, the emotional energy to truly understand and support each other. Their bond also teaches us something beautiful about masculinity and friendship. In many cultures, men are taught to be emotionally reserved with each other to keep their care at a distance. But Jimin and Jungkook have always been open about their love for each other, their emotional connection, their willingness to be vulnerable. And look how much richer their lives are because of it. As we watch them navigate their individual journeys, their military service, their solo careers, and whatever the future holds, this moment reminds us that some connections transcend circumstances. Distance, time, different paths, none of it can diminish what they've built together. So to everyone watching this, whether you're a longtime ARMY or just someone who appreciates beautiful friendships, take this as inspiration. Be a Jungkook to someone in your life. Take the time to truly see them, understand them, celebrate them in a way that speaks their language, and be open to receiving that kind of love too, the way Jimin allowed himself to be seen and celebrated. The world needs more friendships like theirs. More people willing to put in the effort to truly understand each other. More moments where we reflect each other's light back when someone can't see their own shine. If this story touched your heart, please share it. Let people know that this kind of friendship exists. This kind of love is possible. And tell me in the comments about a time when someone showed up for you in an unexpected way, or when you gotta be that person for someone else. Don't forget to like this video if it moved you, subscribe for more heartwarming content, and remember, the best way to honor beautiful friendships like Jimin and Jungkook's is to cultivate that same depth and care in our own relationships. Until next time, keep spreading love, keep celebrating the people who matter to you, and remember that the most beautiful gestures often come from simply taking the time to truly see someone. Purple you all.